files, review the documents, and stop the political slogans, because they will discover that he has done nothing wrong as far as Mr. Christie is concerned.
Well, it's good to hear from the former Prime Minister, and apparently, after the month-long hiatus, he still does not get it. We don't expect, I don't think the Bahamian people expect it, anything much more or less from the former Prime Minister. He is still in denial, and he will continue to be in denial. But I suppose with time and the investigations that are underway, the truth will eventually be revealed.
You'll find that in the files and the documents, he says. And at the end of the day, all of this talk about forensic audits and misfeasance, malfeasance, wrongdoing is all a bunch of rhetoric and political slogans to pander to its political base.
All right, good for him. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know today what it is. Today is Friday.
Yes, it is.
It is Friday, and it's Free Talk Friday, so we're going to talk about several things, but you don't have to be confined to what we're talking about. You can talk about whatever you wish to talk about. As you know, yesterday we devoted the majority of our show to the memory of the late Dr. Brenda J. Nottage, who passed away early yesterday, but 2 days ago.
Yes.
2 days ago. And so we want to thank you for weighing in yesterday and sending your sympathy. So you can continue to do that today if that is your wish, if you want to do that, or you can talk about some other things. Maybe you want to talk about BPL. The light continue to go out. To hear some definitive plan as to what is going to happen with strategy for the summer months, and of course, if they say that it rain, it goes out. Well, what plans you going to do to keep the people light on, even if it rain? So we need to hear from BPL, and well, we know $4 million, and the number keep going up as to what has been stolen from BPL. I could buy, I guess, a couple of generators, eh? But anyway, that is the case. What I want to talk about, I just news feed that came onto my my email this morning. It's dealing with the Bahama sale, and which we can talk about as well. We had a poll. I believe the numbers were like 10-1 in favor of allowing Mr. Sakis Ismailian to be given a second chance. But the headline is ex-developer threatens legal action to halt Bahama sale. BMD Holdings Limited, the former developer of Bahama Casino and Hotel, is asking the government of Bahamas to impose a moratorium on the final sale of the casino resort to Hong Kong conglomerate Chow Tai Fook Enterprises, CTFE. New Prime Minister Hubert Minnis, BDMD Holdings owner Sakis warned that, I beg your pardon, in a letter sent to new Prime Minister Hubert Minnis, BMD Holdings owner Sakis Ismailian warned that he would take legal action against the former administration on the grounds of state-sponsored discrimination. BMD Holdings was the original developer of the Caribbean Casino project until the company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2015, citing debts of more than $1 billion. This prompted the local government to look for a solution to the project, which was originally slated to open for business in 2014. In May, the government of Bahamas finally closed the sale of the unfinished Bahama Casino, the CTFE, albeit under highly favorable terms for the Hong Kong buyer. In his letter, Ismailian accused former Prime Minister Perry Christie of granting CTFE multi-million-dollar tax incentives that are toxic and one-sided, stressing that the government could not afford the wholesale giveaway, considering its current precarious financial position. In a statement, BDMD Holdings said it had reviewed the heads of terms regarding the concessions granted, and the documents confirm that the previous administration, that is the government, had engaged in the wholesale giveaway of hundreds of millions of dollars in tax waivers and concessions that the country could not afford. The agreement also clearly raises a concern about the potential of corruption and self-dealing by members of the previous government, even beyond the now public self-dealing by the former Attorney General. BMD Holdings said. The company also insisted that the government reopen the casino license investigation and report the findings of the gaming board to the public. Sky Warrior Bahamas Limited, a subsidiary of CTFE, secured a gaming permit for the Bahama Casino in April of this year. Finally, BMD Holdings reiterated that it is willing to reacquire Bahama, noting that the company is committed to completing and operating the Bahama with a full Bahamian workforce and organization. This time, Ismailian may have finally found a willing listener in the newly elected Prime Minister, who has been a vocal critic of the Christie government's handling of the Bahama bankruptcy process. Before he was elected, Minnis revealed that he planned to execute a real sale of Bahama to a qualified and a respectable purchaser, a move that the former administration feared would lead to court cases, which would mean delays and thousands of jobs at risk. So, one of the questions we're going to put to you today is, should Mr. Ismailian go through with his threat of legal action to halt the Bahama sale if he is not allowed to participate in the project?
Well, first of all, we understand the position that Mr. Ismailian finds himself in, and we set out to give you the history yesterday and to give you some enlightenment as to how Mr. Ismailian has found himself in this precarious situation. Now, there's some, like you, who are among those 10 persons who gave your views earlier this week as to why Mr. Ismailian should be given an opportunity to purchase Bahama. But as it stands today, Mr. Ismailian is asking the Minnis administration to place a moratorium on the sale of Bahama and on the completion of Bahama. Well, there are some among us, including the former Minister of State for Legal Affairs, Damian Gomez, who say that they are appalled by the former Bahama CEO, Sarkis, requesting this big favor of the new Prime Minister. He's concluding that Mr. Sarkis is embarrassing to government, that a court-sanctioned sale has already occurred, that approvals have been made, but seemingly only Mr. Gomez knows this, because the Supreme Court is telling us that some very commercially sensitive documents about the sale or the potential sale or the arrangements or agreements for a sale between Chow Tai Fook and Perfect Luck, which is the special purpose vehicle applied by China Construction America and the Export-Import Bank of China. Well, Mr. Gomez is telling us that there is a court-sanctioned sale that has already occurred and that approvals have been made. But when I heard the Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Minnis, and I heard the Attorney General, Mr. Carl Bethel, they made no such claims about the court-sanctioned sale and that approvals have been made. why are the documents still sealed then? And Mr. Gomez has gone to the extent to say that it seems strange that a contributor to the FNM's campaign coffers can be asking the government to intervene in this process. He says it seems fundamentally wrong for Mr. Sarkis Ismailian to be doing such a thing. It is unclear, and nobody knows whether or not Mr. Ismailian gave the FNM campaign one single penny. Don't know that. But we knew that Mr. Gomez represented the government 2015 while it was dealing with Bahama in the Supreme Court. And after knowing all of this, he's still calling Mr. Sarkis Ismailian's request extraordinary, using words like surprise, that he's been so vocal in denouncing in the media the sale and the terms of the heads of agreement between the government and the China Export Bank on Bahama. He says, Gomez, he's appalled. Well, as I said, Mr. Gomez was one of the lawyers, one of the attorneys who were working, representing the government 2015 while it was dealing with the Bahama matter. You would recall Sarkis Ismailian attempted to have the project declared bankrupt before a court in Delaware. The court in Delaware did not deal with that matter. They sent Mr. Ismailian back to the jurisdiction in the Bahamas where the project is. And the government and China Construction America and China Export-Import Bank did what they have or had to do to deal with Bahama. And in the process, they dealt Mr. Ismailian out of that game. And now he's asking the Prime Minister. I understand the Prime Minister met with Mr. Ismailian sometime last week. We are unable to tell you because it's unclear what they talked about. And it's unclear if he was given any advance indication of what Mr. Ismailian was seeking to do. But we heard my colleague just a minute ago say that while in opposition, Dr. Minnis did promise to execute a real sale of Bahama and said that under a Minnis administration, only Bahamians would be allowed to complete the project. All right. Well, we know before the general election, the Bahama Heads of Agreement, which was made public by Mr. Christie, did not give us finer details of a sale. It talked about concessions given to China Construction America and Chow Tai Fook to have Bahama completed. We heard about 1,200 Chinese workers. We heard about millions of dollars in waivers and concessions, and that was the extent of it. We heard nothing about what is in the sale deal between Perfect Luck and Chow Tai Fook for Bahama. So, what do you think about what Mr. Ismailian has threatened to do? He says he intends to take this matter before the courts. Well, we know this matter has been in the court in the Bahamas for quite some time. And we're receiving reports that Chow Tai Fook expects to be the new owner of Bahama by 2018. And that in the meantime, they expect to have a couple of hotels, hotel properties, managing companies take over at least 2 of the 3 hotels that they intend to open incrementally at Bahama. So, what do you think about Mr. Ismailian's threat to take the matter? And he's taking the Christie administration to court. That is what he says he intends to do. Because he says the government entered into an agreement with China Exim Bank and China Construction America last August to get the project completed and opened, and they left him out of the deal. And we remember the deal was sealed by the Supreme Court, and its secrecy became a major source of controversy in the lead up to the May 10th general election. And I told you, within that deal, the Christie administration agreed to issue up to 1,200 work permits to CCA to complete the project. The government also agreed to waive stamp duty, value-added tax on the transfer of the assets of the Bahama Limited. That could be almost $100 million. And I told you yesterday, there can be no sale without the approval of the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Will Mr. Ismailian's intention stand in the way, or will he be dismissed? We wait to hear your response. That's one of the matters we want to get to this afternoon, and we hope that you join in the conversation.
Yes, and want to remind you today is Free Talk Friday. The numbers to call 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272, or you can WhatsApp or text us at 552-7902. That's 552-7902. What about BPL? Are you satisfied with the service that BPL is supplying? Are your lights still being, your service still being disrupted? I know it has been disrupted twice in the area in which I live in the last 2 days. One as long as 6 hours, the other one for several hours yesterday. And it looks like this is going to be a pattern, but we need someone from BPL to tell us what's going on.
And you know, about BPL, when you hear the minister responsible for Bahamas Power and Light saying serious concerns with the company's ability to keep the lights on this summer, you know we have a major problem. The minister got serious concerns about the company's ability to keep the lights on, because he sees that there is a lack of reliability, and it is preventing the government from fulfilling all the necessary requirements in the Bahama Heads of Agreement. You see where we headed? Mm-hmm. We need more power for Bahama, and we can't supply our own needs at the moment.
Well, let me just say this out there, just in case one of you listeners might be, you are in the business of servicing generators. I need somebody to call me. I have a generator. I need my generator service. Yeah, I have one of those Chinese-made generators, a big one.
Okay. Yes.
And I need I needed service. So if you're listening and you do that
What
type
is
of work,
brand? It's Gentech.
well, we'll talk. I don't know the name of it. All I know it's a
Chinese model.
7 kilowatt. I think 7 or 7.5.
Somebody out there know how to fix that.
How to fix that? I need to fix because
knows.
I can't take any chances with BPL. I needed service. So if you do that type of work, hit me up 552-7902. 552-7902. Once again, this is Straight Talk. If you're just joining us with your host Greg Colley and Martin Albury, and you're tuning to Global 99.5 FM. This is Free Talk Friday. We're coming back after we hear from our sponsors.
For fast and efficient appraisals of homes, vacant land, and businesses, your choice should be First Choice Appraisal and Real Estate Sales. Contact broker appraiser Gregory Colley for all your real estate sales and appraisals. Call 422-3010, 565-8896, or 341-0582 for listings of vacant land, residential and commercial properties, and all your appraisal needs.
LRD Construction has a proven track record as a general building and construction company. Its remarkable team is ready to provide quality and proficient service on projects big or small. LRD Construction can handle large commercial sites, new homes, apartments, condominiums, townhouses, home improvements, renovations, additions, and alterations. Call LRD Construction at 327-3769 or 433-6166. West Winds, Love Beach. That's LRD Construction. The best tasting roasted peanuts in the whole wide world are Nature's Gifts roasted peanuts. Proprietor Derek Sims applies his personal touch by roasting peanuts to perfection. Get your peanuts in light, medium, and dark. Call 431-7710 to place your order. Nature's Gifts roasted peanuts on Market Street and Bacardi Road. Peanut.
Extra, extra, read all about it in $5.99 special.
Sammy's Chicken does it again. For a limited time only, it's the $5.99 Thigh Snack Special.
I tell you.
Sammy's $5.99 Thigh Snack Special comes with a 12-ounce Coke, that included.
See, I don't lie.
For a limited time only, Sammy's Chicken, Robinson Road, Carmichael Road, East Street South, Farrington Road, and the newly reopened Prince Charles location. Sammy's Chicken.
Give me some straight talk, and hold the sugar, please. Straight talk, sounds plenty sweet to me.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Straight Talk with your host Greg Colley and Martin Albury, and we're coming to you live from Global 99.5 FM.
And let me introduce you. My colleague now has a programming note for
Yes.
listeners out there.
Yes, want to remind you, please take a note. Beginning Monday. Monday is what, the 1st of July?
Oh, maybe the 3rd.
Monday's the 3rd?
How fast we go with it. Tomorrow will be
Tomorrow
the first
will be the 31st.
30 days, September, April, June,
Oh.
and November.
This is June 30th.
Today is the
last
final day of June.
My God, I was trying to buy it next day.
So,
like how you
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Like how you go on the
That's three.
With that game show, you say, "Can I buy a vowel?"
Yeah.
Even if you can't buy a day.
Yeah. Cannot buy a day.
You can't buy a day. Okay.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is the 1st of July, so the 3rd of July, beginning Monday, we will be broadcasting every day. Not every day. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2 to 4 p.m. Straight Talk will be on air, which means that we are eliminating Tuesdays and Thursdays
Until further
notice. We will not be on air on Tuesdays and Thursdays beginning next week until further notice. So please make a note of it. We will only be on air Mondays, Wednesdays, and Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Straight Talk, 2 to 4 p.m. We'll be on air. So note that programming change beginning Monday coming. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Straight Talk, and we're coming to you live. This is Global 99.5 FM, and this is Free Talk Friday. Should Mr. Ismailian and his company, BDM,
Follow through.
follow through with their threat of legal action if nothing changes, that he is not allowed to at least participate in the operation of Bahama? Would it be a good idea? Would it be something do we want another legal battle to stop and hold up the project? Or should Mr. Davis Graham and his company, what is it called? Company name now?
Chow Tai Fook.
All right. Should they accommodate? Should they make some arrangement with Mr. Ismailian so that he can at least participate? Or should of course, Mr. Ismailian is also asking the government to review its granting of a casino license to the other company that's connected with Chow Tai Fook.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there has been reports of criminality connection, mob connection with that company, and they're asking that the report that was done by the gaming board to be made public.
Yes.
So, what do you think? I want you to weigh in on our conversation today, or you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Maybe you want to continue to bring condolences to the family of the late Dr. Bernard J. Nottage. We have a call on the line. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my brother. How you doing?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm fine, Mr. Albie Riding.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Well, I pray God that you and the family have a nice weekend and everything goes well, Rev. So you and the church people and I can talk to you Monday if God's willing.
Yes, thank you too.
Yes, sir. Rev, my concern is I might be here right. Did I believe I hear Mr. Christie say that he went to see Dr. Nottage and they was talking about while the man was dying?
Well, you did not hear wrong. Mr. Christie said he had a very, very intimate talk with his friend and political colleague, Dr. Bernard J. Nottage, and that Dr. Nottage did not take the results of the May 10th general election too good.
Well, at that time, Mr. Christie should have told him, I can pray for you, turn to the Lord and live. And you know, what kind of, then there's another thing again. Say, Mr. Nottage was saying that with the insurance.
Well, Mr. Christie,
oh, Lord.
If I can just chime in a bit with you. The former Prime Minister told the media of his last talk with his friend, Dr. Bernard Nottage. The Prime Minister, former Prime Minister, Mr. Christie, admitted that he had some concerns over what Dr. Bernard Nottage may have been battling, and that he was battling in isolation during his last days. And Mr. Christie, who we are told was visibly troubled when he was giving these details to the media. You know, this is the first time that he has spoken to the media,
yes, sir,
since being voted out of office,
yes, sir,
last month. And they said he was visibly troubled. He was a shaken man, as he detailed portions of the last conversation that he had with Dr. Nottage. And he said he saw him as somebody who was fighting tenaciously. That Dr. Nottage, even in cabinet meetings before the last general election, seemed to be battling something, that something was not right with his friend. And I don't want to go off tandem and overboard today to call Mr. Christie a negligent friend.
But that's what he is.
Who was complacent. And another word, negligently complicit in the illness. You could see the man was visibly unwell, and you did not insist that he take a much needed break.
Reverend, why he didn't tell? Ms. Lorby, why he didn't tell the man, look, you have to retire? And
He said out of his own mouth that in cabinet meetings, he could look over across at his friend, Mr. Nottage, and could see that he was very quiet for hours. Unlike him,
yes, sir.
all the signs were clear, but they were concentrating on the next general election.
Well, the only thing to me was on Mr. Christie's mind that he won't beat legacy. You know, he want Mr. Simler's legacy. He won't do that. You know.
Yes.
That's all Mr. Christie was thinking about.
Yes.
You know. Yeah.
And he said, even when he inquired of Dr. Nottage as to what was happening, he said Dr. Nottage just shrugged his shoulders. And he got nothing
yes, sir.
from his friend.
Now, I listened to Mr. Price's Forbes. Now, all the while he was in Parliament there, he didn't see that Andros need airport. They just saying these things now. Andros need airport.
Well, I recall the days.
They're gonna need airport.
Are you talking about South Andros?
Yes, sir.
I recall the days when Prime Minister Lyndon Oscar Pinling was a member of Parliament for that constituency.
Yes, sir.
And I was a news reporter back in the day
I know.
when we were in Andros at Las Palmas. And I heard Mr. Pinland ask the people, what would you have me to do for you? And it came back resounding, nothing, Chief, nothing. We straight. Now, what you say, Picewell Forbes said?
He says that the government need to build a new airport in Andros now.
He might be right. He might be right. Andros is the big yard.
I agree. But what I'm saying that he was there all the while.
Yes.
He could have asked for the airport then.
Well, you know, I told you this a couple of days ago, that hindsight is perfect vision. What you don't see in the front of you after the fact, sometimes it's clearer when it's all over.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now, everybody has something to say. Everybody talking. Mr. George, I remember when Mr. Pillen was Minister of Finance, he spent $800 million and Andros didn't get tiled, not even on the well.
Well, I remember again traveling through South Andros, this time with the new Prime Minister, at that time, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram. And we went throughout South Andros. And would you believe it? There was not a single inch of water lines running along the roadside in South Andros. Do you believe that?
I believe it. I believe it, sir. I believe it. That's bad. That's very bad. But that's just my 5 cents. And I hope you and Rev, you all and your family have a nice
weekend. I hope Mr. Picewell Forbes get the brand new airport in South Andros and that they get running water in the pipes in South Andros. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, sir.
All right. Well, I can tell you also this afternoon that former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, we told you earlier, he has finally broken his month-long silence on a litany of allegations against this administration, which were released by Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis and the Free National Movement. First of all, Mr. Christie says he's disappointed by the FNM's allegations. His government did nothing wrong, he says, over an $8 million payout to one vendor to clean up after Hurricane Matthew. And he's calling for the government, Mr. Minnis's government, to do a review of all of the documents, and they will find the answers to all of their questions. They'll find the answers to all of their concerns, the answers to all of the allegations that they've been talking about. It's in the files, he says. And Mr. Christie, after admitting that he had some concerns about the health of his longtime friend and political colleague, Dr. Bernard J. Nottage, who has passed away, also condemned the efforts by the Minister administration to portray his government in a negative light. Mr. Christie then challenged the nation's leader. He told Dr. Minnis, make sure you carry out a dispassionate examination of the records. Don't look at them with jaundiced eyes. Don't look at them with any political sway. Look at the files with a dispassionate examination.
All right, we have a cell phone caller on the line. My friend, you're still there, or are you going?
Hello.
Yes. Welcome to Straight Talk.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Is this Free Talk Friday?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I will piggyback on something last week, and then I will move to former Prime Minister's statement yesterday. Now, there is a archbishop or archdeacon in the Anglican Church who publicly said last week, if the government have evidence of any malfeasance, please bring the evidence and produce it to the public.
Okay.
Now that bishop, well-known bishop, had nothing to say when the government was in power and they were doing all kind of foolishness, and even never one day reprimand them and say, now you stop it. He just sat idly by and watched them paint whatever color they want to the Beaman people, and he never said none to them. Now let's go to the former Prime Minister remark yesterday.
Yes.
Do you know that bishop I'm talking about?
Well, if you listen, this is Straight Talk. If you're talking about Archdeacon James Palacios, is that the man?
Yes, sir.
Well, he is Archdeacon, not Archbishop.
But see, I don't know some of the titles.
Oh,
Sorry.
well, that's why I'm here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's the man's name you wanted to call.
Yes, sir.
Archdeacon James Palacios had his views on what the government of the day was saying about the previous government. That is true. Okay, carry on.
Okay, but he didn't have any other views from the flip side.
Well, I didn't hear them, but he could
Okay,
possibly have them. He might have delivered them in a sermon. You never know.
Okay, point number 2.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Madnobi, I've been to school, but I want to ask you adjective, please.
Okay.
Give me an adjective when you lie. What's another word you could use?
Don't give me any big words.
No. Give me.
All right. The diplomatic word for lying is fibs or untruth.
Okay, good. Because I did hear one journalist say disingenuous.
Okay.
But you want a big word today.
Well,
now, you know it's chameleon? You know what it's chameleon?
Are you talking about a lizard that changes colors with its environment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about them? Because they could be whatever they want to be, whatever the situation is. It don't have to be the lizard, you know.
I agree. See, I agree. Now we on topic. We on par with each other, Mr. Martin. Now, if you smart, go to the head of the class.
You brought him along.
Yes, sir. The former Prime Minister could act in any one of those capacities when he's ready. Because he said that Jonathan Ashman had over 100 people employed on the site. Now that's a fib.
No.
That's a fib.
No, the check had to be cut in the office of the Prime Minister.
Mr. Martin Albury.
Mr. Jonathan Ash had to provide the scope of work, and he had to provide the number of persons that he had employed, and with the listing of how much money each one is about to make.
Okay.
But you carry on.
Before you move on to that point, I would like to introduce something that I've not heard discussed. I know while I work at National Insurance, whenever you're issuing out big money and contracts like that, contractors, employers must show that their contributions records, payments are up to date. And so I have not heard anybody talk about whether these companies that Mr. Ash had, whether they were in compliance with NIB. If he said, the Prime Minister said he had 20 people, did they ensure that those 20 people's contributions were being paid to NIB?
Well, I'm going to see if I could be helpful here.
Yeah.
Hold on, Mr. Martin.
Okay, carry on. Let's let you chime in.
I just wanted to put that in there.
You go ahead.
Now, Bishop Colley, at EOA also, because that's another something that I overlook. Me being a self-employed person, I can't get no job from a government without...
Unless you show them that you're compliant. You have a good standing letter.
Yes, sir.
Now, so what good standing letters being produced by Mr. Ash?
But you see, gentlemen, while you're talking about good standing letter and being compliant and following this and doing the next thing and making sure everything else is in place, Mr. Christie told me yesterday that all of these things were done to help Bahamians, to help the country, that it had to be done because of the urgency and the emergency.
I am a Bahamian too.
So that means you throw everything else aside?
They ain't throw it aside for me. I am a Bahamian too, and I can't get no government job unless I get compliant. Am I right?
Let me tell you something.
I
praise the business
of emergency.
I praise the business license department several years in a row after getting my business license. All the time they were giving me my license because I was declaring that I was not within the threshold of a certain amount of money. Now all of a sudden, I guess because I was on the radio talk show, they want me to bring my bank account to show that I'm not making the kind of money that I say I was not making. And do you know they have denied my license and want charge me an extra $100, say I supply the information. I'm not going to give them that to look at my bank account.
See?
They weren't asking it before.
They paid unfair.
It doesn't change.
They paid unfair. And that's what I call victimization. But let's move right on, sir.
All right.
Now, the site that the fella cleared up. I know you all pass down there sometimes and see the wake, right? Yes, they had people there. And they had these small Isuzu trucks where they were loading the truck by hand or whatever, go to the dump, carry all these people to the dump site. Whereas they had mostly one or two Big Mac dump trucks. Right? Whereas they could have loaded them with the loader now, and then it go to the dump and pick up and dump off like ASAP. The turnaround to be like about 20 minutes, half an hour the most. Now you pass here by government high school, the tractor break down, right? Now, my insight is I am a trucker. And I happen to pass the Bacardi site disposal where they had the disposal there.
Yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, to clear that particular site was some $190,000. Okay?
Okay.
It ain't no way in the world them living stuff would cost that much money. So the former Prime Minister, he's in the fifth, and he's also putting on the Chameleon Act because it's now necessary for him to act in a way which he thinks is appropriate for what he done. But like I tell you, like my mother tell me, it come out their head of beans. They abuse this country financially, abuse it. And I am so angry with them. If I would just take the key myself and lock them up. But anyway, straight talk, and I will continue to listen. Now you have to find something to do on Tuesdays and Thursdays because you all linger beyond. You have a nice day.
All right, thank you very much. All right. 326-0271. 326-0. You know, I have almost a mind to call business license and ask to speak because if you've been granting me a license, I just start getting my license.
Yes.
All of a sudden now, you want me to put further proof that my declaration is what I've been declaring.
Well, we got to put them to the test. Find out why are they.
Why the sudden change?
Why are they?
You think I'm lying?
They're moving. They're not moving the goalpost, are they?
But it's, they know. At least I've got to investigate that even further.
Yes.
But I know they're listening to us, and that is one of the things where you find that they try to stifle the small man, and the big people getting away scot-free. They're asking them for all kinds of different things.
Well, you know,
because they can call certain people to get the thing done.
And it will be done. It shall be done. But as I started to tell you earlier today, on the $8 million, which was paid out to one vendor, and then the write-off of $1.2 million to an airport tenant. Well, Mr. Christie described the moves made by his administration, and he also not only challenged, he condemned the Minnis administration for making their own missteps by pandering to its base. He said, a review of just those two controversies, the $1.2 million, the write-off for the airport tenant, and the $8 million payout to one vendor for the cleanup after Hurricane Matthew, the government would absolve his administration of any wrongdoing. And he also dismissed what the Minnis administration is doing as political slogans. And Mr. Christie says when he resigned as leader of the PLP, at that time, accepted responsibility for the PLP's defeat at the polls. But he accepted no degree of responsibility of criminality, irresponsible spending, and the notion that the cupboard is bare, because all that was rhetoric and political slogans. And he said, whatever he did, whatever his government did, whatsoever was done, it was done to help the people and to help the country. Because after Hurricane Matthew, a Category 4 hurricane, slammed into New Providence, it caused much devastation, and the place had to be cleaned up, and it had to be cleaned up very quickly. So, to Dr. Minnis and the new government, Mr. Christie says, you will find all the answers that you need to all your concerns, all your questions, all your accusations in the files. You tell us you have 11 of them now. And Mr. Christie says, once you open up the files, you will find no misfeasance, no malfeasance, none of the sort. And ladies and gentlemen, what I heard coming from former Prime Minister Perry Christie yesterday, it reminds me of a popular funeral song. The song says, it is finished. The battle is over. And Mr. Christie is telling you he is finished with this matter, and he is not fighting any more war with this government. It's finished.
Well, Mr. Christie can say what he likes. Thank goodness he does not have the final say.
The only fight he will be is a warrior, a soldier in the army.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's moving on.
Yeah. Where are you moving?
Mr. Christie is pressing on, he said.
Where is he going?
He's moving.
Where?
We got to ask him about that when we come back. We need to talk
and this is Straight Talk, and you're tuned into Global 99.5 FM. I'm your host, Greg Colley, along with my co-host, Martin Albury. And this is Free Talk Friday. Want to remind you once again of our programming note. Beginning Monday, Straight Talk will be aired Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 2 to 4 p.m. Same time slot, but on fewer days. And if you have some concern, you can call us and let us know what you think. But our programming changed. If you want us to continue our everyday format, you can also call us and tell us whether you're going to miss us or whether you're going to be satisfied with that programming change. This is Straight Talk. We're coming back after we hear from our sponsors.
Straight Talk, Straight Talk, Straight Talk, Straight Talk.
For fast and efficient appraisals of homes, vacant land, and businesses, your choice should be First Choice Appraisal and Real Estate Sales. Contact broker appraiser Gregory Colley for all your real estate sales and appraisals. Call 422-3010, 565-8896, or 341-0582 for listings of vacant land, residential and commercial properties, and all your appraisal needs.
LRD Construction has a proven track record as a general building and construction company. Its remarkable team is ready to provide quality and proficient service on projects big or small. LRD Construction can handle large commercial sites, new homes, apartments, condominiums, townhouses, home improvements, renovations, additions, and alterations. Call LRD Construction at 327-3769 or 433-6166. West Winds, Love Beach. That's LRD Construction. The best tasting roasted peanuts in the whole wide world are Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts. Proprietor Dirk Sims applies his personal touch by roasting peanuts to perfection. Get your peanuts in light, medium, and dark. Call 431-7710 to place your order. Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts on Market Street and Bacardi Road.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Sammy's Chicken, $5.99 special.
Sammy's Chicken does it again. For a limited time only. It's $5.99 thigh snack special.
I tell you.
Sammy's $5.99 thigh snack special comes with a 12-ounce Coke, VAT included.
See, I don't lie.
For a limited time only, Sammy's Chicken, Robinson Road, Carmichael Road, East Street South, Farrington Road, and the newly reopened Prince Charles location. Sammy's Chicken.
Want to reach your target audience? Advertise here at Global Radio 99.5. We hit the mark every time. This is Straight Talk with Gregory Colley. Call in and participate at 326-0271 on Global Radio 99.5 FM.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Free Talk Friday, and the numbers to call 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272, or you can WhatsApp or text us at 552-7902, 552-7902. We have a call on the line. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, Rev, and how y'all doing?
We're doing good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty fine. Monday, you say Monday, I'm on Tuesday and Friday?
No, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday.
Boy, I know I can manage, because, boy, I don't know who I can listen to, because they all be gone now. Man.
Only 2 days. We'll only be gone for 2 days.
Yeah, but them 2 days feel like a whole week,
that will be until further notice. You know, it's the summertime, you know.
I know. Oh, until further notice.
Yes.
Okay, listen. You have any idea when they're gonna name all the chairman and ambassadors?
I understand that some naming has already been done. I guess by next week or second week in July, something official should be out.
You said you understand some already being done.
Yeah.
You can give me an idea of what's being done.
Oh, no. I don't have anything official.
Okay. Okay.
And I won't preempt anything that the government has.
Yeah, I know. That's a good thing.
Okay. All right, we have another caller.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon, caller.
My two friends in there, how you all doing?
We're doing good. How about you?
I'm all right. If you get
we've been trying to get you to Bataco, BTC. I keep getting the same thing which you've been getting. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully they're listening to us. There are some persons who have been disconnected. They paid from this morning, and they still the phones ain't cut back on yet.
And I pay from the phone in full.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you a question. You said it's straight talk, right?
This is always straight talk.
Okay, I know it's always. If 600 people call you, they say no, they don't want you all to do what you want, go off. What would you do? Would I change your mind?
If 600 people call, they might change. Before we close off, we might change our mind.
You think so?
Try it.
Well, I got make sure call some people right now. Tell them call you all. Because I don't know who I can listen to myself. I something like that call about yesterday now.
But that's only 2 days.
That ain't the point. You know it's 2 days. Do you all know it's 2 days?
That's
48 hours.
That's 4 hours.
Man, that's still too long.
That's 4 hours you can miss us.
Do you know only your show is called?
Oh yeah?
Well, I call Vendor Jones today because the light keep on going off, coming on, going off, and I call and tell him about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
We're on for 10 hours a week. So we're just extracting 4. So we'll still be on 6 hours a week.
You know what people love you all for that?
But they ain't calling us and telling us.
But I tell you now.
But you telling us, but we want to hear some more. Say that.
But then Jesus, Lord, what else? Oh, Lord. Anyhow, don't do that.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you. 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272. Or you can WhatsApp or text us at 552-7902, 552-7902. And I have one text message here. Let me answer this. Let me read this. Let's see what it says. And Martin, in my calculations, I estimate that Mr. Ash owes the Bahamians in VAT around $670,000 because if he had not gone through the regular procedures of registering with Inland Revenue, then percentage on $8 million for VAT is around that amount. And I think this government needs to look into that. Yes, and also with national, I'm asking the question about national insurance. What about national insurance? What about other taxes that may have been evaded? We have a telephone call. Let's go to the phone lines. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon.
Okay, well, let me turn down my radio. Let me be the third to ask you to stay, right? Hello?
You're the third one that asks us to stay?
Yeah, out of the 600. No, really, you give me best. You know, you did a great job, man. You know, man, I can tell you, you brought me through the referendum. You brought me through this election. And I think y'all could take a break. But, you know, not that I want you to. You know, I want you to stay on every day. But, you know, you got your family. You got to take a breath. Yeah. Now, one good thing on my part, I could get back into my jogging, you see, because you guys got me fat over here.
we caught you to gain weight?
Well, look here. Every time I go out, I say, oh, man, look here. The conversation is so interesting, you know. And, you know what? You just want to hear people with your point of view, you know. And, you know, it eases your mind, especially like I said, through that craziness we went through the other day. Now, just one thing. So you guys on Tuesdays and Thursdays, maybe I could hire you. Y'all come by the house here, and we just talk for 2 hours. I had the drinks and the food.
We can have a private conversation, eh?
A private show.
And a private show.
That'll really be some straight talk. I just want to plug that in, you know, definitely. But this starts on Tuesday coming.
Yes.
Start Monday.
Monday, okay.
Yeah.
You work on Mondays.
So we'll be on Monday and we'll be off Tuesday, back on Wednesday, off on Thursday, back on Friday.
Yeah.
So we like hop on, hop off, hop on, hop off.
Like, you know, 3 is better than just 2 days a week. And you know,
but you know, when we first started the show, we started at that format, and we then I think when Lincoln Bain joined me, we went every day. Yeah. But when it was Martin, Rodney, and myself, we were here 3 days of the week. So that's how we started, and so we're reverting to that until further notice. Yeah. It's not permanent.
No.
You know, but
matter of fact, they start doing some foolishness. Y'all might do some extra.
Well, we come back and fill in the slots and do some extras, like you say.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now you remember that joke I told you before when I first started calling you. I call you all the 3 wise men because you know Rodney was there.
Yeah.
And I told you about this joke. Well, I was starting to say it, but Rodney just pulled the rug from under me. It's a harmless Christian joke, but Rodney, no blasphemy now. No, but it's like, you know why Jesus wasn't born in the Bahamas? You couldn't find a virgin or 3 wise men. And so, I give you all the credit for being 3 wise men, but now you're just 2 wise men. And trust me, I take it.
2 minus 3 minus 1.
I take it, but look, I don't know if I call them wise no more. Okay, guys, let's talk to you later.
Thank you very much. You have a wonderful weekend, eh?
Right.
You too, sir.
All right. 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, or you can WhatsApp us at 552-7902, 552-7902. Tell us what you think about our change in our lineup beginning Monday. We're reverting back to our Monday, Wednesday, and Friday format. Give us your opinion. Do you think you're going to be able to handle that? If not, let us know. And we have a call online. No? Let us know what you think. Also, remember, today is Free Talk Friday. You can talk about whatever topic that you may have on your mind. There may be a problem or something you a compliment or some comments you like to make generally to uplift or to encourage. You can call us and let us know. Again, the passing of the late Dr. the Honorable Bernard J. Norris. If you still want to give condolences, you can still do that as well.
Yes.
But for the most part, we've been talking about Bahama and Mr. Sakis Ismailian's company. They're threatening legal action should they not be allowed to participate in the venture that was started by Mr. Ismailian, his brainchild. Of course, there's a question of the name Bahama. Does it exclusively belong to Mr. Ismailian? There are other trademarks that may be in question. Should Mr. Chow Tai Fook pay Mr. Ismailian for the use of that name if he wants to retain it, or are they going to change it? So there are a lot of questions that are up in air. So let us know what you think. 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272. And we have a call on the line. Let's go to the phone lines. Welcome, Straight Talk. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are y'all?
We're doing great. How are you?
Good afternoon.
I am wonderful. I'm calling about several things. Number one, the hotel, the Bahama situation. This thing, my suggestion is that this making the Bahamas look so immature. After 40 years, we should not be going through all of this ups and downs with this hotel. I think the government really should step in and do one thing final and cut it and let this country go on in the hotels. I think the gentleman should give a chance to go to court, settle the situation, get the situation settled, and let's move on. That's one.
When you say go to court, get it settled, and move on, are you talking about involving Sakis Ismailian?
Right. Yes. He threatened it. He's suggesting that he want to take it to court.
Well, if I recall, he did threaten to do that, and there is a deal for a sale, which is sealed in documents that they say are commercially sensitive, in the Supreme Court of the Bahamas.
Well, what I would suggest then, since this whole thing, since the last government, those pirates, I'll call them pirates because that's what they were and that's what they are, since they have brought this country to this situation, I think the new government should amend the Constitution, get those files and open those files and clear this mess up for this country. This making us look so immature. Every time you hear on the radio and the television about this hotel and who owns it and who doesn't own it, amend the Constitution, open up and get the files, and let's move on. My next thing is this. Seeing that this is the hurricane season, I think MEMA and the Defense Force should get together, train citizens, men and women, for disaster purposes. After the training, then put your name down, just like how they have it for the when you go to the court to be juries. Have your name down and have it listed to be called for certain month you are on call, so that when disaster hit this country, we're not scrapping to get people to go and do this. For an example, the last hurricane, Matthew, there was some tree in my area where I live. There were some trees all over the road. The people in the area had to get together with cutlass and saw and things like that to clean up the area.
Mm-hmm.
I think, but we are not trained. But if we were trained, we could have moved around the whole island or whatever to do it. And that should happen to each one of the family islands. People should be trained to encounter these situations.
Well, caller, from my experience in dealing with hurricane preparedness, management of disasters, and all of these attending things that you talked about, NEMA is already doing similar things in the family islands, and I don't know how much they do in the constituencies in New Providence, but they train to deal with disasters and management and mitigation. And they also have people trained in CPR and in shelter management in the family island. Springs up. You have a small number of people, and I'll call them faithful servants, who you can always call upon. Just find safety elsewhere.
Well, like I said, you put your name down. You put your name down for the jury.
I just finished telling you the names. The list is long. The training is extensive. The preparation is there. It's in place. Ask NEMA. They do it every year. People come out to the schoolhouse and they get information. They even get kits. These first aid kit
yep.
thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you train them and things. But when the hurricane is upon us, only Mary, Jane, George, and Sue in the shelters.
Oh boy, something really need to be done.
Are you with me? Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you, bro.
But what I'm hearing, caller, is Martin is saying the family island.
Yes.
But what about New Providence? I don't know.
To what extent?
That's what we need to talk about. What NEMA does in the family island? If what Martin says is a good thing, but I have not heard of any program in New Providence. I have not seen any advertisements inviting persons to sign up to be volunteers, to be trained in case of disaster, emergency in the country. So you're onto something. I think if they're listening, it's something that perhaps we're late now for this season, but nevertheless they can still do it. That maybe they can send out notices, circular, some advertisement inviting persons to come to NEMA to enlist,
yes,
and to receive the necessary training should they be required to be called upon if there's an emergency.
And, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
I think we as a country, we always wait till the last minute to do things, and that's disastrous.
That's true.
It's disastrous. Anyhow, my brothers,
thanks
you
for
all
calling.
continue and enjoy those days you're taking off.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much. All right, we have a call on the line. Let's go to the phone lines. Welcome, Straight Talk. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you all?
We're doing good. How about you?
Put my name down there for one. You all don't go off.
You don't want us to go nowhere?
No, man.
You got a sound, please? Don't
and I'll get another job for Martin. Martin,
Okay. Sir.
What happened to Belef, man? I haven't seen Belef since I met him years ago down in Exuma at the airport.
Yes.
Johnson.
I will have to inquire too. I know some people who could tell me where he is.
No, I call in reference to that gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
NEMA takes out, but don't forget now, most all the police are calling, and most all the people down in the Ministry of Work. I've been down there for 30 years.
Yeah, but I think he's talking about civilians.
we always on standby.
Yeah, he's talking about civilians being more involved in that process. I think that's what he's talking about.
They got a crew, because I normally used to be the one to stay on.
Yeah, each agency,
even though they used to say no merit man.
Each agency has a group that they can call upon.
Ministry work had some really good, but like I say, I don't know how the changes have been since then. But they always have a squad there, station.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Have a nice day.
You too. We have another call on the line. Let's go to the phone lines. Welcome to Straight Talk, caller. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Albury. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
And Mr. Colley?
Excellent. How are you doing?
Good. Mr. Colley and Mr. Martin, one thing I am very concerned about. I've read the newspaper, the foreign newspaper, Miami Herald, to be exact, yesterday. And they're saying that gas prices in the U.S. is now at not an all-time low, but for recent years, it's not been this low, $2.21 a gallon.
That's nationwide.
Yet in Nassau or New Providence, we're still going at $4.19 a gallon. That seems strange, and there has to be something dramatically wrong, because international oil prices has been dropping for a long time, and we still feeling the crunch of these high prices. Hello?
Yes.
All right. I just wondered if you would know anything about that, as to why these prices remain so high. Well, because one time we had gotten as low as $3.80 something, and then it shot back up for what I regard as no apparent reason. Oil prices are still around $40 per barrel, and yet we're paying such high prices here in Nassau.
But listen here, what's even more so ridiculous, you're talking about the oil prices at the pump. What if people are not really making much noise about? You check your light bill, you're paying for oil.
Yeah.
Why should we be paying for oil?
Well, I guess they did not satisfied with us using electricity.
If you notice, your electricity usage is sometimes much lower than what you're paying for the oil.
Well, it is.
The oil surcharge. You ever check it?
Yeah, yes, sir. I have written a letter to them, and I've given them well, as a matter of fact, I don't even know if there's a basis for it, because I gave them a year of my electricity bill. And they tried to tell me at one point at DC that the fluctuation in my rate was due to the fact that they were changing the periods. But I tell them, even with them changing the periods, sometimes the half-month rate is higher than I pay for the whole month. And I have a documented letter to them, and of course, they never answered.
No wonder they could $4 million.
Well,
plus, and the amount is
they do a lot of things,
and the amount is escalating.
The problem in the Bahamas and also in all the government agencies is the lack of efficient management. They don't have people who want to manage, and they do things essentially by favor. They do things if they like you, for you. They don't do things where you're good at what you're doing. And therefore, a lot of people become totally disenchanted with their work, because if I go and I bust my hip, let me say that, if that's acceptable, and do the work, go out and try to appease the public, and then the person who ain't doing nothing get the promotion. So,
especially if you're well connected.
Yeah, but what does well connection have to do with doing the work? You want the
everything.
No, but
once I connected, I gotta work.
But then the person who is doing the work then becomes disenchanted.
Too bad for them. Too bad for them. And that's the one the supervisor can be on.
But
to make sure they work.
And the public.
And if they don't work, that's the one who get fired. You know that's how it's work. You know that's how it's work.
They get right up.
Yeah, that's the one who get evaluated the hardest.
Yeah.
Well,
they get the ratings of 2 and 3, and the person who do nothing get 5.
Well,
but that's lack of management, and not only that, the fact that they can't manage, they still get promoted to another position.
Well, we're gonna have to really find out why the cost of gasoline is still over $4 per gallon at the pumps in New Providence. And I'm checking the gas tracker prices right now. I see where Shell, Esso, and Rubus are some gasoline for $4.19. And this company called AutoServe at Shell Marathon is $4.15.
Right, they normally about 4 cents lower.
But there is a place or a station on Carmichael Road, I think, that's selling gasoline cheaper than anybody else.
Yeah, but you got to go there between 12 and 6 o'clock in the morning.
It's so.
Yeah, only Mr. Colley would benefit from that, because I sure ain't going out there.
but we need to find out why, as you say, and I believe.
Well, we can look at. Well, I think we've had this question before, and it looks at the way how gasoline is structured, how it's taxed, which always dictates we never can go like how the U.S. do it, because I believe the last time I remember, if I could be correct or wrong, somebody correct me, but I believe out of every dollar of gasoline goes to the a dollar off the top goes to the government.
Okay,
$1 already, and then
no, I think it's more than that. As a matter of fact.
All right. So therefore, so you can see we could never be at the level of what they're selling gasoline in the United States. Don't forget now, also based on the number of the volume, right?
Right.
It means that the United States don't have to charge a dollar or whatever it is off the top because of our volume. Maybe that's equating to what they charge in the U.S. had they had the same number of turnover or the volume that we're now producing here. But based on the structure, we can never have, if the gas is in the U.S. $2, there's no way that we can sell it here for $2.
No, I'm not questioning that, but
it's $4 here. It's $4 here, and it's $2 in the United States. I don't think that's all too bad.
Well, I can tell you that's bad because I'll tell you in 2003.
Yes.
When my wife moved to Atlanta, gas prices in the Bahamas were $2.63.
How long ago that was?
2003.
2003.
No, but I'm just showing you.
14 years ago. 14 years ago, my brother, I used to pay $2.50 for a loaf of bread. Now I paid $5. Are you still there? See, maybe lost that call.
Yeah, well, everything is going up.
I was shocked.
Everything.
When I going to buy the bread $5, I need to start baking my own bread. All right, I have a 3260271. I had a couple of texts I need to read. Let me just read them while we have a little break. Rev, the name of the game show is Wheel of Fortune. Thank you very much.
Wheel of Fortune.
I can't buy, that's where you go to buy vowel, but I can't buy a day.
But you got to have money on your account to buy vowels. Yes, sir.
And no matter how much money you have in your pocket or in the bank, you can't buy a day.
You cannot.
And it says you need to stay on for 5 days. Oh. Don't give those other guys time to contaminate your listener's mind. Thank you very much.
What a day.
I need you 6 days per week. All right. Thank you very much. 3260271. We're going to take a break, and then we come back. We will continue our discussion. We have half hour left when we return. This is Straight Talk, in case you're just tuning in, with Global 99.5 FM. We'll be right back after we hear from our sponsors. LRD Construction has a proven track record as a general building and construction company. Its remarkable team is ready to provide quality and proficient service on projects big or small. LRD Construction can handle large commercial sites, new homes, apartments, condominiums, townhouses, home improvements, renovations, additions, and alterations. Call LRD Construction at 327-3769 or 433-6166. West Winds, Love Beach. That's LRD Construction.
Extra, read all about it. Sammy's Chicken, $5.99 special.
Sammy's Chicken does it again. For a limited time only, it's the $5.99 thigh snack special.
I tell you.
Sammy's $5.99 thigh snack special comes with a 12-ounce Coke, that included.
See, I don't lie.
For a limited time only, Sammy's Chicken, Robinson Road, Carmichael Road, East Street South, Farrington Road, and the newly reopened Prince Charles location. Sammy's Chicken.
The best tasting roasted peanuts in the whole wide world are Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts. Proprietor Derek Sims applies his personal touch by roasting peanuts to perfection. Get your peanuts in light, medium, and dark. Call 431-7710 to place your order. Nature's Gifts Roasted Peanuts on Market Street and Bacardi Road.
Want to reach your target audience? Advertise here at Global Radio 99.5. We hit the mark every time. This is Straight Talk with Gregory Colley. Call in and participate. 326-0271 on Global Radio 99.5 FM.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Straight Talk. This is Global 99.5 FM and Free Talk Friday. And I want to remind you again, this is of this programming node. We will be switching our format beginning Monday. We will be broadcasting on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Yep.
That's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays only from the same time slot, 2 to 4 p.m. And so we'll be reverting to our original format when we first began the show. And this will be for until further notice. We'll be using this format. Should it be necessary, we will fill those 2 days again. But we wanted to get your feedback. What do you think about it? And if you speak loud enough, maybe our producer will listen to you and accede to your requests. If you
with some conditions.
With some conditions, yeah. So let us know what you feel with this programming change, whether it'll satisfy you, whether you will learn to live with it. Someone said they don't want us to go because it's going to give you time to go over to listen to some other people's show and might contaminate you.
Contamination. And well, we wish them well. What if I may, just for a minute, I'd like to talk about the calendar of events coming up for the 44th Independence celebrations.
Yes.
Celebrations this year under the theme, Towards the Rising Sun, One God, One People, One Bahamas. And the Independence celebrations begin tomorrow, July 1st, Saturday, July 1st, Junkanoo Summer Festival on Arawak Key from 4 p.m. until midnight. And on Sunday, July 2nd, we will have the Beat Retreat in Rawson Square and Parliament Square, 5:30 p.m. That's Sunday, July 2nd, 5:30 p.m. Monday, the National Children's Choir Concert, Dundas Center for the Performing Arts. The National Children's Choir Concert begins at 7 p.m. on Monday, July 3rd, at the Dundas Center for the Performing Arts. July 6th through to the 28th is the Bahamas Press Club Art Exhibition. The exhibition is at the Central Bank of the Bahamas, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday to Friday, July 6th to the 28th. And on Friday, July 7th, it's National Pride Day in Rawson and Parliament Squares, Friday, July 7th, 10 a.m. And they're asking you to come on out and on that day, wear the Bahamian colors. You know what the colors are? Well, show your patriotism, your love for Bahamaland, and wear your colors. July 9th, that's Sunday, July 9th, It will be the 44th Grand Anniversary celebrations on Clifford Park, beginning at 8 p.m. Sunday, July 9th, 8 p.m., Clifford Park, the 44th Grand Anniversary celebrations of our independence. And on Monday, July 10th, that's Independence Day, 1 a.m. on Bay Street, the People's Love and Unity Rush. It's Bay Street, 1 a.m., Monday, July 10th. Also on Monday, July 10th, they will have the state reception at Government House from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. And also July 10th, it will be the Culturama Liturgical Dance Parade and Concert, Western Esplanade, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And Jonkanu Summer Festival continues. That's Saturday, July 15th, Arawaki, from 4 p.m. until midnight. And then from July 18th to the 23rd, we will have the Commonwealth Youth Games at the National Sporting Complex and the National Beach Soccer Arena all day. It's July 18th to the 23rd. And again, that's Saturday, July 22nd, Jonkanu Summer Festival, Arawaki. And that continues July 29th, Junior Jonkanu Summer Festival, Arawaki, 4 p.m. to midnight. So starting tomorrow, July 1st, we have a month-long calendar of events and celebration of our 44th anniversary of independence.
Well, that sounds like a very good lineup, an exciting lineup. And so I want to encourage our listeners to attend those celebrations.
And there's one or two of the events that I'm interested in.
One or two?
Yeah, well, just one or two of them. But the main one is the state reception at Government House.
That's what you want.
I want to see who is going to cut the 44th birthday cake.
But you know who cut the 43rd? Who cut the 43rd?
I want to see who is going
who
to
cut the 43rd.
I understand that Her Excellency Dame Margaret Pinling asked Dr. Hubert Minnis, who was then was he leader of Her Majesty?
Yes, he was official
leader of Her Majesty's official opposition. She gave him the royal knife. Said,
and
would you kindly do the honors?
Says
because Mr. Perry Christie, our Prime Minister, came
late again.
Came too late. Now, Mr. Christie, it's good to hear from you.
You think Dr. Minnis should let Christie cut the cake for him this time?
Sounds like a bad omen. I would like to be at Government House on the evening of July 10th for that.
Yeah.
Yes. Happy birthday, Bahamas.
Let's go to full lines. Welcome, Straight Talk. Good afternoon.
Straight Talk, how you all guys doing?
We are doing excellent. How about you?
Man, I miss you all terrible.
Oh.
When you all came on the other day this week, you all say, whether if you love us or you hate us, let us know. So what you think?
Well, so far we had about 5 people say we shouldn't go nowhere.
And they say they want 600 to call.
And they love you, all right?
600, yes.
Yeah, you need them to call, but you have a lot of people who love you. I told you all the other day I love you guys.
And we love you too.
And I love you all. I miss. If you know what I had missed out on, because this is the only show I listen to.
Oh.
2 o'clock can't come fast enough.
Oh.
And if you all start a couple minutes, I just call and he said, don't worry, they coming. They're only a couple minutes late. You can soon.
Yeah, we usually get caught in traffic.
So you all got to be in obedience and come get back on regular schedule afterward. But tell whoever in charge, whatever, you all have a lot of fans out there.
Okay, thank you.
Because I don't listen to no other radio talk show. Straight Talk has my undivided attention.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right.
But we hope it'll only be short-lived.
Well, I hope so. I hope so, because I will be calling and complaining.
All right.
Okay, so you all have a blessed weekend.
You too.
Do the same.
Take care.
All right. Let me just share this. Share this story with you and our listeners. And since we've been having some very, very dramatic weather the last couple of days, and some thunder and lightning. In Fort Myers, a pregnant woman was taken to the hospital after being struck by lightning.
Okay.
We thought that normally that happens at high things, be struck, but a pregnant woman was taken to the hospital after being, and according to news press report, Fort Myers police said the woman was hospitalized after being struck by lightning Thursday afternoon on a street in a gated community. They did not release the name of the woman, however. The Tampa-based National Weather Service meteorologist, Andrew McConnon, said there have been 3 fatal lightning strikes in the U.S. so far this year, including two, get this, 2 in Florida.
Yes.
There were 3, but 2 of those occurred in Florida.
Did they say anything about, is it Northern Florida, the Orlando area? Which area is it?
Well, this latest one was in Fort Myers.
Okay.
And the other one was in Lee County, they say. Well, that's the same place. No, so they didn't release the other place in Florida.
I've had some terrible experiences in the Orlando area.
Well, plenty. Orlando is terrible. Yes.
Especially
and then,
afternoons.
A lot of Bahamians do travel to Orlando
you must
for
be
holiday.
very careful.
Extremely
because
careful.
The weather.
And it shifts so quickly.
Spring up very quickly.
Yes. But what they're saying is they said that if anyone hears the thunder, then you're close enough to get licked.
Well, listen to this. And I'll tell you, because I know of a couple of people who was struck with lightning. And the amazing thing about it is they survived, all of them. But they were knocked out. One person told me that when you see lightning, you straight. It's when you don't see it.
And you hear the thunder.
No, that's when it's you who it hits. You don't see the lightning when it hits you because you get knocked out.
Get knocked out.
They say.
So you don't hear the thunder either?
Somebody has to tell you what happened to you.
Well, I was told that if you see the lightning flash, and you start counting mentally in your mind, and you count the number of counts you hear before you hear the thunder, that could give you an idea how close it is. And if you see that flash and the thunder come at the same time, then you're in trouble. You're real close.
The people who I'm telling you about who were struck with lightning tells me they didn't see it.
Yeah, so they had time to count.
They felt it.
Yeah, well, that's the day.
And they didn't know what happened. Somebody else, when they were revived, somebody had to tell them what happened to them. But usually, when lightning strikes, it's all over.
And I see people do all kinds of things. I remember when I was growing up, if you see the lightning, we used to cover up all the mirrors. Anything what you see shiny,
yes, sir.
We getting rid of them. But I see people sit down and they watch television. They sit down on the telephone. I mean, we do all kinds of things. We take it for granted.
We go under the bed when the lightning flashing.
Well, my aunt have one dog. Whenever you see lightning flashing, she can't get him out of the house. The dog go under the bed and hide.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, as long as you see it, as long as you could see it, you straight.
Yeah.
It's when see it, it's
you're
when you get.
You're in trouble.
Yeah, you.
3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. And this is Free Talk Friday. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about today. We raised the question whether Mr. Ismailian ought to follow through with his threat to take legal action against the former government. He accused them of statewide, what do you call it? Discrimination?
Yes. Yeah.
State-sponsored.
No.
State-sponsored discrimination. And he also accused them of also of possible corruption and self-dealing. I got a text that says Florida is the lightning capital of the world.
I could tell you about Orlando, summertime. Anytime after midday, it's time in air condition because in protected shelter, anything could happen weather-wise, including thunderstorms, lightning storms. And the lightning is ferocious in those parts of Florida. So if you're traveling, you should keep all of those things in mind, especially in the Florida area. And you protect yourself against lightning strikes. Learn about it.
So we take a lot of things for granted here in the Bahamas, and we have to be very, very cautious, very careful not to expose ourselves unduly to the elements, so which can be fatal, very serious. And you know, we are in hurricane season. Just the other day, police were up and about, asking residents whether they were prepared. They had the necessary, made the necessary preparation in light of the hurricane season, where they have all the items on hand to take care of themselves and their homes. And so we have to be, you know, we like to wait till the last minute to do a lot of things.
And we know we live in the hurricane belt. We live in what they determine to be Hurricane Alley. Most of the hurricanes were formed off of the southern coast of Africa, and they come down the trail. The Bahamas is in the pathway. And we know from June 1st to November 31st is hurricane season. I think the hurricane experts, meteorologists this year are predicting another active season. I think we have already had at least 3 that have been formed and named so far. And we know what we have to do. Last year, October, I believe it was around the 6th, 7th, 8th of October, thereabouts. Some people will never forget it. Hurricane Matthew struck New Providence. And one of the greatest things that I've seen was the amount of flooding in southwestern, eastern New Providence on the coastal area.
You had a first-hand experience of that.
Absolutely. I will not like to see
You lost a whole car.
I would not like to see that again. It's something you can look back at and say, that's nothing I would want to see again. Not that. I've seen a mango tree disappear. And when that happened, I knew it was long past the time to leave. But we were able to get out to safety and left all of those worldly possessions behind. And the biggest thing you have to do, my friends, is heed the warnings. You cannot wait until the last minute to make preparations. And when the Department of Meteorology is telling you for days,
it's time to go,
that these are the things you should be doing, that means you should be doing them and not waiting to do them, so that when the appointed time comes, you will be found safe and sound in a shelter and not to be rescued in an emergency. Because every situation when the storm strikes is urgent. So you must prepare for your own safety and then that of others. But the warnings, watches, they are there for a reason. And at all material times, you should be paying close attention, never wavering, because at any moment, even though they are putting time and limits and predictions and all these other things on the movement of these systems, in the twinkling of an eye, things could change. I've seen experts in these weather phenomena losing track of where they're supposed to go. That has happened. But I believe in the ability of the Bahamian weather forecasters. They've been doing a good job, and I believe they will continue in that vein. Then they give you information concerning weather systems affecting your area. My advice to you is to take their advice and to act accordingly. The hurricane season, and now is the time to make all your necessary preparations to make sure that you have the items that you need, or that you are stocking some things up. You know, you need to have your battery operated radio. You need to have your lantern or your flashlights. You need to have an emergency medical kit, because you never know when things could happen. And you need to make sure that we are now in the rainy season, that you find a way to clog up all the leaks on your roof. And those persons whose homes were damaged since Hurricane Matthew, who have yet to receive assistance, you need to make your applications to NEMA and the other agencies to get yourselves ready. Make sure your properties are ready. I understand that there are about 300 plus persons in Grand Bahama whose houses or roofs have not been repaired since Hurricane Matthew. And I'm told that the Urban Renewal and National Emergency Management Agency now come under one roof. And these people, or those persons in Grand Bahama, should be getting that help almost immediately to make sure they are protected from the elements and that they are prepared for the hurricane season, because it is upon us. And anytime, any day, we could hear about development of systems heading our way. And the key word is preparation. Absolutely.
326-0271. 326. Talk to us. We want to hear from you this afternoon on whatever it is you have in your mind. Remember, this is Free Talk Friday. We've been doing most of the talking so far. Again, want to remind you of our programming note change. Monday, we will be coming to you on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Tuesdays and Thursday, we will have off. We'll be on Monday, off on Tuesday, on Wednesday, off on Thursday, on again on Friday. Let us know what you think about our new programming change. Are you happy with that? Are you going to be satisfied with that change? Let us know what you think. We have a cell phone caller. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon once again, sir. I just called in to let you know that I will see a show on Tuesday and Thursday. But I'd like to ask Martin a question, please.
Go right ahead. He's listening.
Can we get that time slot to Rodney Munker?
The answer is unequivocally no.
All right, sir. All right, sir.
Well, you may want to know straighter than that.
I agree.
Boy, Martin, you really flinch on that.
That's my time.
We're not giving away our time. We got to keep it open.
Absolutely.
If we give it away, we can't get it back.
You'll never get it back.
Well, this is only a temporary change. Let us know what you think. Are you going to adjust? I mean, you'll have to adjust, but is it going to be easy for you to adjust? Someone say we should not give the time up because our listeners will. We have loyal listeners. You're not going anywhere.
I'm not gonna agree to give the time to former Senator Rodney Munker. That is, Senator Rodney Munker is on television. And that would be what? Going backwards? What would you say? Going backwards?
Yeah.
Coming from television to come to radio?
Yeah, no, that's a reverse.
That's a step backwards.
Step backwards, yeah. Let's go to the phone lines. Welcome to Straight Talk. Good afternoon.
Hey, Rev.
Hey.
How y'all doing, man?
We're doing good. What about you?
Man, I doing bad, man.
Why?
Because Dr. Bernard Knowledge dead, and I try to get over that right now. But I calling you to another situation. I get this like in the front of my yard. I was trying to get on it and beating the beast. What do you call it? Beast or whatever.
BPL.
Okay, then down there on Blue Road, I already reported. I tell them that it's the third pole on Andrews Avenue East. The number
Did they ask you the number on the pole?
I give them the number. The number is 124. That's the third pole. And then I was trying to get this connected from before election,
Yeah.
So I can't blame the PLP. And I can't blame the F&M because this is before the election. Right now, this poll, they're not on the light for about 3 months. You see what I'm saying?
There's no. You mean the automatic lights, street lights that's coming?
You can't see from East Street to Wilson Track.
Oh.
And it looked like I might have to go up there and do it myself.
No, don't do that.
And another thing, my brother.
We're gonna call them. We're gonna call them and then see if we can assist you.
I appreciate that, man, because it's a low down disgrace and current been up wrong here just about every day and every 3 hours, man. And they can't charge me the full thing for light bill, man.
Well, you don't pay light when the light off,
No.
You don't light behind. Well, you don't get no light. How you can pay light bill when it's off? Oh, excuse me. Let me take that back. Let me take that back because I remember during the hurricane.
I just got to correct on that.
During the hurricane, and don't forget I said it's supposed to. They charge more money when the light was off than when it was on. They're supposed to give you a credit. We ain't get no credit yet. I guess that's the $4 million, but they steal so far.
Nah, Rev, you see, you're going on a truck that they have no evidence for.
What you mean they got evidence and they lock up people and they fire people? What you mean no evidence?
The commissioner of police just said it's only rumors. Whoever was
I saw it in the paper.
Released. But whoever was locked up was released, man.
They released them?
Yeah.
But they didn't have sufficient evidence?
They didn't have sufficient evidence.
But the money's still missing.
The money is not missing because
who brought the money back?
He got up in the house and said the money is in the treasury.
Who said that? No. Hold on. You talking about BPL or you talking about something else?
No, but we talking about the money which was missing. All the money.
No, you see, you mix it up. Hold on. No, you see, Elvis. Stop trying to mix up things now, okay?
Okay.
Let's keep it straight. Let's straight talk. We're
Rev,
talking about BPL money.
Those 8 people from BPL, they was released, man. If you get the facts, they were released.
But the money's still missing.
Listen, the money was misled. Okay? If you do your
Where are you? Are you under the sycamore tree?
No, they run me from under.
They didn't run you. I can run you off this station right now because you.
Hey, but I can make sure you know. Yeah. Anyhow, we can take it up under the sycamore tree there.
All right, take care.
Take care.
Y'all already come out.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, I ain't know what Elvis drinking out of that sycamore tree, but anyway, Martin, that
Thank you
time is
very
gone.
much. It's been a good week. Very exciting week. We had some bad news during the week. Found out about the passing of the former member of parliament for Baines and Grantstown, former Minister of National Security, Dr. Bernard Nottage. And then we heard from Prime Minister Perry Christie yesterday, telling us that all that we have been hearing about his administration, the claims made against him and his administration of malfeasance and its handling of the relief effort in the aftermath of Hurricane Matthew, he's saying all of it is political rhetoric and slogans. And he's also telling us that the late Dr. Bernard Nottage was crushed by the Progressive Liberal Party's loss in the May 10th general election. And we heard the key members of the Christie administration, Dr. Nottage among them, they were defeated. They were politically slaughtered in that crushing defeat by the Free National Movement in the general elections. And Dr. Nottage, who held the Baines and Grantstown seat uninterrupted for 10 years, he lost to a political neophyte, a newcomer, Travis Robinson. And Mr. Christie told us yesterday that his friend, Dr. Nottage, was crushed because, he said, Dr. Nottage wanted to represent his constituency until the very end. Therefore, the outcome of the general election was disappointing. And Mr. Christie asked the question, to what extent did the outcome of the general election impact Dr. B.J. Nottage? Because he was a private man. Yes, he was extraordinarily private. And he would not allow anyone to share his pain. But he was crushed. And he was disappointed. And now he has passed on. May his soul rest in peace.
Well, that's it for our show today, ladies and gentlemen. I want to remind you again of our programming change. Beginning Monday, the 3rd of July, we will be broadcasting on 3 days a week only. That's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays until further notice. But we'll be in the same time slot, 2 to 4 p.m. We want to thank you for your telephone calls, your text messages, and your concern.
Yes.
But it is what it is.
Yeah,
we
600 didn't call today.
So we didn't get a 600.
We'll go on with our plan.
We're going on very smartly with our plans. Want to thank our engineer and producer, Nathan, my co-host, Martin Albury. This is your host, Greg Corley. Today's show has been brought to you by Doc's Pharmacy, located Robertson Road, by Master Assist, located Village Road, by Nature's Gifts Fresh Roasted Painters, located Market Street South, by Sammy's Chicken, 5 locations to choose from, by First Choice Appraisals and Sales, by Geneva Brass Seafood, located Eden Street off Farrington Road, In case you don't have a church home of your own this weekend, you're always invited to visit us at First Holiness Church of God. And this coming Sunday is Women's Day. So, of course, we have at Women's Day, our first Sunday, we usually have the Lord's Supper.
And all women are invited.
All women are invited. So you can come join us at First Holiness Church of God, Bamboo Town, where yours truly is the senior pastor. So once again, on behalf of our producer and engineer and my co-host Martin Aubrey, this has been Straight Talk. Good afternoon. Have a safe weekend. See you, God's willing, on Monday.
Global 99.5 FM listeners, that the views